someone in your life a Japanese learner, but you don't know what to buy for them? If that's the case, I think this video is exactly what you're looking for. Today I'm going to be covering 10 things that I think would be great for any Japanese learner. It's hard enough picking gifts for people, but for Japanese learners it can be especially difficult because if you're not learning Japanese yourself, then it can be really hard to figure out what they might want. Or maybe you're a Japanese learner yourself and you're just looking for some new materials to pick up. If that's the case, I think this video is going to be really helpful for you. The first thing that I recommend to literally all Japanese learners is a dictionary of basic Japanese grammar. Now, it is a dictionary, so it's not totally exciting, but the thing is that the explanations in here for the grammar points and all of the example sentences are extremely useful. I use these sentences to practice my Japanese, to memorize new words and phrases, and just find new sentences to study for over a year when I was learning Japanese. It's an amazing resource, and every Japanese learner should have this book. If the Japanese learner in your life doesn't, definitely consider picking it up for them. It's worth every penny. If they do already have a dictionary of basic Japanese grammar, there's also the intermediate edition and the advanced edition. I also used the intermediate edition a lot when I was learning Japanese, and I found it extremely useful as well. The advanced version is more for people who are getting into translating and who are doing very difficult Japanese. But if the person in your life is aspiring to be a Japanese translator or anything like that, I think all three of these books are indispensable. Number 2 on my list are the textbooks GENKI. Now, there's a book 1 and a book 2, and personally, I'm not a big fan of book 1. Book 2, on the other hand, I found extremely useful when I was studying Japanese, so I would suggest even skipping straight to this one if the person who you know has been studying Japanese for any amount of time, because it will be really useful for them. Some people prefer the Minna no Nihongo series, and I'll link to that down in the description as well, but personally, I found the GENKI 2 book to be a little bit more useful than the Minna no Nihongo books, but I actually did use both, so either of those would be a great gift if the person in your life is just starting out learning Japanese. Number 3, though, is an even better textbook, and it's not used in most classrooms because it's not that well known, but I found it far more useful than any of the textbooks that I ran into in the bookstore, and that book is Tae Kim's A Guide to Japanese Grammar. Now, there is a free application on the phone, and I recommend everyone get this, and I actually did a review of this right over here. And there's also a free website, and all of it can be read for free. But there's also a hardcover book, which can be really useful for people who are studying because they can mark it up more easily, they can open it up wherever they are at any time, even if they don't have their phone. So the actual book is definitely not a bad gift idea. And the Japanese learner in your life will appreciate it immensely, especially if they don't know about this resource yet, because it is, in my opinion, one of the best resources out there for learning Japanese. Now, if the learner in your life is more advanced at Japanese, they may be looking for a way to get from an intermediate level up into the advanced level, and there's not many textbooks out there for that. But the one that I can recommend that I found the most interesting is definitely this one, Authentic Japanese Progressing from Intermediate to Advanced. That's Chūkyū kara Jōkyū e no Nihongo. This book is really great. There's tons of practice, there's tons of reading material, there's lots of good explanations, all in Japanese, and there's loads of new vocabulary in every lesson. So the learner in your life will learn even more with this book. And if you can find it, the workbook is also a great extra resource. Now back to the more beginner learners of Japanese, a book that I found extremely useful, not just for learning Japanese, but for learning anything in general, was James Haysig's Remembering the Kanji. Now, this is one of the early editions, and as you can see, I used the crap out of this book. There are newer editions out there though that you can pick up, and I think it's just a really good resource for learning how to learn, not just how to learn kanji. The way that he teaches you how to use stories to remember things quickly and easily is excellent. Of course, there still needs to be lots of repetition for the kanji to actually stick, and you won't actually be able to read them when you're done with this book. You'll only know what they mean, which is definitely a criticism of this book. But if someone is just starting out, I still think it's a great resource. But for those who want something more interactive or more modern, the website Wanikani is a great option for that. Wanikani introduces kanji using a lot of the same methods as remembering the kanji, but with a built-in spaced repetition review module. So you can learn your kanji there, and you can level up within the application and review all in one place. A subscription to Wanikani is, I believe, really worth it, but it can definitely stop some people from wanting to jump into it right away. So a subscription to Wanikani would be a great gift idea. Number 7 is a little bit more fun than all the rest. It's the game Learn Japanese to Survive, or should I say the games Learn Japanese to Survive. There's actually 3 of them. There's Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. I've actually been streaming Kanji Combat on my channel here, and it's been loads of fun. The people who are watching are enjoying it, and it's just a great supplement for learning kanji and new Japanese words in general. So definitely consider picking that up for the Japanese learner in your life, especially if they like video games. Number 8 on my list is the extremely popular Japanese Pod 101. Now, I really don't like a lot of what Japanese Pod 101 puts out on YouTube, and I really don't like their advertising methods very much. But with that said, those advertising methods do work, so I can't really complain too much about it. What I also can't complain about is the actual content that is available on their website and application. There are literally hundreds of podcasts teaching Japanese, of Japanese conversations between native Japanese speakers, and just an endless amount of really useful content. And when I was learning Japanese, I used to listen to these podcasts all the time when I was riding to work or riding home from work or just going anywhere where I had some free time and could put in my headphones. So in all honesty, despite the fact that I don't like some of the things that they do here on YouTube, the content of their website is actually well worth the small price of a monthly or yearly subscription. So definitely consider picking that up for the Japanese learner in your life, because there's material for any level: beginner, intermediate, advanced, everything. Number 9 is my favorite Japanese learning application. Now, on PC, the application is free, and on Android, the application is free. But if the Japanese learner in your life has an iPhone, it's actually about $20 to pick up this application. Anki is such an amazing tool for learning not just Japanese, but for learning anything, that when I first got an iPhone back in the day, I paid that $20 without even thinking about it. Because all of the other platforms of Anki are free, the creators use the money made from the iPhone app to help develop all of the other ones, including the iPhone app, even further. So I felt perfectly fine paying that despite the high price. Number 10 on this list is Japanese graded readers. So there's actually 4 levels of Japanese graded readers. Level 1 is for beginners, obviously, and level 4 is for upper beginner intermediate level. Now, level 1 I would recommend avoiding, as any learner will outgrow them almost immediately if they're a diligent learner. But level 2 and 3 are actually perfect for beginner to upper beginner, and even lower intermediate. The stories in both 2, 3, and level 4 are actually really good too, and I think the first time I ever cried from reading a book was from a story in level 4. The only story in my life that has ever made me cry was a book in level 4 of the Japanese graded readers. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of how good the books actually are for people who are learning Japanese. Now, I know I said there was only going to be 10 recommendations, but I actually have a bonus one for you right now, and that is the manga Yotsubato. I'm not really a big manga fan, and I'm not really a big anime fan, but I still really enjoyed the manga Yotsubato. The content was funny and easy to read, despite being aimed at native Japanese people. I learned lots of new vocabulary, but it was within easy enough grammar and Japanese that I could kind of learn it on my own without feeling like I had to stop every few minutes to look up new words. My final recommendation, and this is I guess the last bonus recommendation, is to show them this channel. Here on Tokini Andy, I create and I also stream live Japanese lessons for free that tries to sort of simplify what is often way too complicated in the textbooks. And I also try to help people learn to speak Japanese as quickly as possible, while also introducing Japanese culture and things that I love and also hate about Japan. So please send them over here and tell them to subscribe so that they can see new videos and new lessons and level up even faster together. Also, there's links to everything we covered today down in the description. If you found it helpful, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye!